Hey guys, what's up? Garth here, and this is the Progressive Opinion. Now, for this week, we've been talking about the long game, playing the long game. Now, today we're talking about why the long game is the only game. Last night, I had the privilege, the honor, the elated joy to experience chronixx, Kelisa, and the Zinc Fence Redemption Band live. Now, if anybody knows me, they know that I don't like live shows per se, but yo, that show was lit. Now, even in the midst of all that excitement, all that great music, all that high energy, the thought continued to scream out at me. This is a result of the long game. I am watching the long game going on. And the signs are all around us. Nature even teaches us that the long game is the only game. No tree just sprouts up overnight. As much as man is trying right now to artificially grow crops faster, people are still preferring to go organic. People are still willing to spend that extra dollar to buy something that took its natural course to grow. And that's a testament to the fact that's a testament to say that we, you know, subconsciously always choose the long game. But in order for you to be successful in your professional, personal, emotional, and spiritual life, you have to actively decide to play the long game. Now, understand that the long game is not without small wins that um, might be seen as, a short game spurt. Like, I'll use myself in this example. Starting out in internet marketing, making a couple $1,000, living in Jamaica where a couple $1,000 is basically somebody's either yearly or half of their year's salary, and I'm making that in 1 month. That might be seen as a huge victory, but it isn't. That's something that it feels good in the moment, but if I can't consistently hit that, if I can't keep on growing that, then it really and truly becomes pointless. So before I even actively decided to play the long game, I had the short game wins, and I have the contrast to understand that that's not where your success is gonna lie. You have to actively choose to follow through on whatever you're doing, even if in the moment you are deciding to do it, there's no evidence that it will work. One thing history, the universe, Mother Nature, people in general have taught us is that if you master something, if you make something that you like masterful, meaning there are not many people in the world that can do it to the level that you can do it, you will make your fortune. You will make your name known. You will create the result that any life should have, which is the result of accomplishing one's purpose. Guys, the long game is the only game to play. So it doesn't matter what you like to do, it doesn't matter what attracts your entire psyche to want to do something great. Understand that if it is that it is something you're willing to commit yourself to, and when I say commit, I mean learn everything about it, the history, the present, and the possible future of it, and dedicate your life to that, then you can get all the riches you want, you can get all the connections that you want, you can get all the notoriety, you can get all the fulfillment that living for your purpose comes with. So to work the long game, first things first, decide what matters to you. Decide what you don't mind doing for the next 50 years. And then start working on that right now. Put on your blinders, stay focused, and just work on that. Nothing else comes into view, nothing else comes into play. Because if it is that you can do that, if it is you can put your blinders on for 5, 10 years and just work your process, I am telling you, you will be great. Because understand that, like I said, the active and the fresh example of the long game being the only game in this instant was or is chronixx, Zinc Fence Redemption Band, and Kelissa, because I just saw them last night. But the constant reminder every day is nature, right? Small seeds turn into large trees over time. And that's because their only job, their only focus was to grow. That's all it is. Their focus wasn't to fly, their focus wasn't to run, their focus wasn't to speak. It was just to grow into the tallest tree that they can be. So, what you need to do, find your lane. If you don't know what your lane is, take some time, figure it out. All right? In another couple of weeks, I will be creating something that will help you to pinpoint what you need to focus on. And once you pinpoint what you need to focus on, help you to find the steps that you need to take. Because in this day and age, more than any other, and I constantly speak about this, we have so many tools at our disposal that you literally don't need to spend a dime to learn more about whatever excites you. But there is also something for investing in the refined information, because I love the Japanese culture and Japanese language, and I've dragged my foot at learning it for the longest while, right? And it's something that I could have gotten a lot of. I could have gone online, I could have worn message boards. I know people who have taught themselves Japanese by watching anime, right? Same thing with Korean or Chinese or Taiwanese. But I dragged my foot, but I realized that this is something that I believe knowing to a fluency level would enrich my life, because it's somewhere that I would that traveling there often is going to be a part of my life, because it's a place of a mental center for me. Now, I'm willing to pay for the refined information, meaning that paying for an app or a course that has studied what is the best way to learn this language, broken it down so it's easy for a non-linguistic naturalist, and give it to me in such a daily process that in a couple years I will be so fluent in it. The only thing that is going to distinguish that it's not my first language will be the color of my skin. That's real talk. Now, once it is that, that's just a way of example of just additive to your life, additive enriching my life. And as a speaker, I will one day want to speak in that market. So knowing the language allows me to make sure I am properly communicating my message. So there are so many things that you can add to your path that continues to enrich and ensure that you will become larger than life. So guys, the long game is the only game to play. And even society that is designed to keep people going like a factory or a plant, even society has the hints and the clues that the long game is how it's played. right? To become a proficient surgeon, the years upon years of school is the long game, right? To have someone's life in your hands, literally. It goes through many hours, days, weeks, months, years of study. Your path should be no different. If you want to be a carpenter, you should approach carpentry as a doctor approaches his field. Think about working on it for years upon years upon years. And once it is you dedicate yourself to the process, and I'm talking about apprenticeship, I'm talking about video courses, I'm talking about taking whatever you're working right now, taking a couple bucks out of it to just go and buy some wood and just work on it. Doing some volunteerism at a workshop or a restoration shop. There are so many ways to enrich your path. But the true fulfillment of life is not the shortcut. The true fulfillment of life will not be accomplished in the blink of an eye. The true fulfillment of life is something that can only be achieved in the long run. So, guys, wherever you are in the world right now, whatever you are doing, if it's not connected to something you could see yourself doing 50 years from now, let this be your wake up call. Let this be the message that tells you that now is the time to live as grand as I can. And if it is you are on your path, if it is you are starting out in the middle of it, seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, whatever stage you are, whatever struggle level you are, keep on going. The long game pays off in the end. You might have bad months, you might have bad years, but if you keep on going, it will not define you. Those bad years will not define you. They will strengthen you, they will build you, they will compound the lessons of life within you and bring your mastery to a level that you would not have even been able to perceive when you began your process. And I'm speaking as another living proof of that. Because even though people say, oh, you are so eloquent and you are so nice, talking can, like, people, I don't write down a lot of this stuff. So you must notice that going through my podcast is that sometimes, maybe if I'd written it down, it would have been more condensed, it would have been a little bit more a little less scatterbrained, but the process is about refinement. It is not about perfection. So if it is that the process is about refinement, be okay to mess up. Be okay with not knowing everything at that point in time. Be okay with being a novice in what you love. Because if you can accept that you're a novice, you can work on becoming a master. So guys, go ahead, soak this in. Let it breathe life into your path, into your decisions, into your success, and then share it with somebody else so it can do the same. This has been the Progressive Opinion. This is Focus, the Focus Friday edition. I'll see you guys again. Well, see you. Haha. You'll hear me again on Monday for motivation. Well, Momentum Monday. I have so many hashtags I'm working on. For Momentum Monday, that when we're going to touch on something else that's going to step us up, enrich us, move with us, just dominate everything that we are, as well as give us that little push, that little strength, because the road is rough, the road is hard, but because I know and I see that it's worth it, giving up is not an option. Laying down and letting life pass you by is not an option. Live more for you, your kids, the next generation, and everyone that looks up to you directly or indirectly. Have a blessed day wherever you are. Thank you so much for listening. This has been The Progressive Opinion, and my name is Garth, the Progressive Motivator. Have a good one.